the Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast.
Welcome to Truth, Money, and Freedom. Today is Friday, the 16th of October, 2020. 2 weeks to go to the election, gang. I wanted to talk about a few things. I'm going to make a couple of videos today, and I'm going to try and make them shorter. The first thing I would like to talk about is the information that's coming out about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden right now. Now, I'm sure most of you know most of this information that's coming out about the Bidens. In fact, this is stuff that was covered by the alternative media for the last 5 to 6 years. But remember now, we're just conspiracy theorists and conspiracy nuts, crazy people, anti-government people. That's what we are. And that's what the mainstream media said about people who talked about the Biden story. So what does the mainstream media do? They don't cover it at all. Even though when it was in the alternative media, it was conspiracy theory, unsubstantiated, unproven conspiracy is all it was, right? Well, now the evidence suddenly comes out 2 weeks before the election. This is the thing I'm as, as honest as the day is long. I have been very, very upfront about why I don't like Trump. And one of them is he only helps the cause of freedom. He only shows his patriotism when he is campaigning. Now, why didn't he go after Joe Biden in the last 4 years? Indeed, why didn't he go after Hillary in the last 4 years? Well, because he wasn't campaigning for the office. He already had it. So now he's campaigning again, and now this information's coming out about his opponent again. But he won't act on it. Will Joe Biden be in prison? I doubt it. If what we saw in 2016 is foreshadowing the 2020 election, we will see no one go to jail. No one even get charged, much less prosecuted. But what does the mainstream media do about this now, besides not cover it? And I have an answer for you, and it's actually called banning. Now, in the last couple of days, we've seen an enormous amount of very big YouTube channels get banned. I knew this was coming. All of us in the alternative realm knew this was coming. I did a video about it over a month ago, actually. And, and I never know when my number's up with YouTube either. But one person who did get banned, and there's a lot of people that got banned, X22 Report, SGT Report, Dustin Nemos. There was a list of about 15 of them, gang, and I can't remember all of them anymore. Those three I subscribe to. And those of you who are familiar with these YouTube channels, I don't get much time to watch YouTube, so I don't watch every show these guys put out. Trust me, I don't. But one thing they all had in common was they were all Q folk. They all reported on stuff with Q. Now, you guys know my feelings on Q. I don't trust Q. I think that's disinformation that's coming out about, from Q. There's a little bit of good information with a lot of disinformation, is what I kind of see it. So I see it as kind of a rallying cry for the alternative right to get behind Trump. And so it's a psyop, if you will, part of the Trump branding. So why would I subscribe to these channels then? Well, guys, I don't agree with everything these guys say, but I am interested in what they have to say. And I incorporate it. I compute whether or not this is part of the way I see things. And sometimes, like Sean at SG Report has put out some pretty darn good videos over the years. And he's gone now. He's been banned from YouTube. Over 500,000 followers. It was a big channel. So 500,000 folks. But I want to let you know, of all the people that got banned, I will miss SGT Report the most. But we don't have to miss them, because he's on Library. He's on BitChute. He is on alternative platforms, so he was already set up for this, just like I am. If you guys look down below in the description section, you'll see all the alternative channels that we post our videos on. DTube is not working right now for some reason. I don't know why. I've not been banned or anything. I'm having problems with the channel. And so I'm not currently posting at DTube, but once I get it fixed, I'll repost there. But on Library and BitChute, every video that I put on YouTube, I put on Library and BitChute. So once again, gang, look down below, subscribe on these services, set up an account and subscribe. In that way, if we disappear, you could still see our videos, just like I can still see Sean's videos, and X22 and Dustin Nemos, just by going to Library. But what I'd like to do today, and I don't have his permission, so I am going to probably, end up asking for forgiveness, but I want Sean's video to be seen. Not only for you guys to know that Sean is on Library, but also that his videos are there, and you guys can go see them at any time. But this last video talks about Teal 6 and treason and murder, having to do with Biden's, with everything from Benghazi to the supposed, killing of Osama bin Laden. And by the way, the alternative media knows what happened to Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden died in 2003 from a genetic disorder that he had that was shutting down his internal organs. And so, you could find this, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. This is the kind of stuff that gets channels shut down. But he died of quote-unquote natural causes in 2003. You heard me correctly, 2003, not 2013. So he was a scapegoat, and he I think accepted the role of being a scapegoat because he had an incurable disease. His father got lots of money in contracts building the military bases in the Middle East after 9/11. And this is a very, very tangled web, and I don't want to get into this right now. But I just want to let you know it's all connected. This is all connected. But without further ado, please do watch Sean's video. I'm going to literally start it when I'm done talking. I also want you guys to consider going to Library and BitChute and setting up accounts there, because guys, there's a lot of good people, a lot of good folk that are being axed right now. Their voices are being silenced forever from YouTube. In High Impact Flicks, he has undergone this, multiple times, not just once. But he is also on all of these platforms. So if you guys miss him, High Impact Vlogs, High Impact Flicks, Brian Young. So he is on these platforms as well. Please check out these other platforms, gang. And I have a lot more to say other than what I've just said right now, but I'm going to save it for one or two more videos. I'm going to try and get out, because I don't have a lot of time, gang, but I have a little bit of time today. I want you guys to see some new information, some fresh information on some stuff that's going on. But remember now, Truth, Money, and Freedom Podcast is on Library. We're here. We're actually here. We have a home here. You guys can come by and see any of our videos at any time. If, basically you're finding YouTube that isn't carrying the content you like anymore, there is wonderful, wonderful folks at Library and BitChute. I'm asked once in a blue moon if I have a preference over the two platforms, and right now I'm leaning towards Library. I do like BitChute as well, but I have problems uploading videos there. This isn't a censorship deal. This is a software deal. There's still bugs in their system. And that has not been the case for me with Library. So, all right, gang, like I said, I'm not going to make this any longer because we have a 10-minute video coming up right now. I just want to say, all of you, thank you so much for watching Truth, Money, and Freedom. May God bless each and every one of you.
Vice President Biden paid with the blood of SEAL Team 6. He spent their blood like currency.
Joe Biden is having the worst week and worst month of his nearly 50-year political career, and November will probably be worse. Twitter was quick to block this article today from the New York Post, which proves what most of us already knew. Joe Biden has been lying about what he knew and when he knew it regarding Hunter Biden and his business dealings in Ukraine. Hunter Biden introduced his father, then Vice President Joe Biden, to a top exec at a Ukrainian energy firm less than a year before the elder Biden pressured government officials in Ukraine into firing a prosecutor who was investigating the company, according to emails obtained by the Post. The never-before-revealed meeting is mentioned in a message of appreciation that Vadim Pozharsky, an advisor to the board of Burisma, allegedly sent Hunter Biden on April 17, 2015, about a year after Hunter joined the Burisma board at a reported salary of $50,000 a month. Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving me an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and pleasure, the email reads. And President Trump wasted no time as he dropped tactical nuclear truth bombs at his rally in Iowa Wednesday night.
These emails show that Biden's repeated claim that he has never spoken to Hunter about his business dealings were a complete lie. It was a total lie. He lied to you over and over because he's trying to cover up a massive pay-for-play scandal at the heart of his vice presidency, and everybody knows it. Everybody in Washington knows it. We've known it for a long time. The fact is, there was never an administration more corrupt than the Obama-Biden administration. There was never. Just weeks ago, Joe stood before the American people in a presidential debate and told you that these claims had been totally discredited and that his son did nothing wrong. But now that turns out to be a total lie. Now we can see clearly that Biden is a corrupt politician who shouldn't even be allowed to run for the presidency.
And as the biggest national news story unfolded Wednesday, not a word from Joe Biden. No press conference to defend himself, no press release refuting the allegations, not a word from Joe Biden. So here's how this unfolded, friends. The emails, thousands of them, including photos and video, were recovered from a damaged MacBook Pro, which had been dropped off at a repair shop in Delaware and never reclaimed. The shop finally turned the laptop over to the FBI, but not before giving a copy of the hard drive to Rudy Giuliani.
I have to tell you, and this is very sensitive, the stuff that we're in possession of contains 1,000, maybe more, photographs that are highly, anywhere from inappropriate to illegal, and have to be possessed by the Chinese government. If the Chinese government doesn't have these photographs, they're not really a rival. I mean, I did intelligence work. I helped to start the FISA court. I know this business, and I know the Cold War people better than I do the people now. All my FISA warrants were against China and Russia. They have got everything the American people are going to look at in the next 5 days. China's been looking at for a long time.
Now, obviously, friends, if the Chinese or any other nation state are in possession of compromising images and videos of Hunter Biden, the president's son, should Joe Biden win the election, that's a huge national security threat because of obvious bribery possibilities and extortion. Rudy Giuliani says he will release what he can over the next 5 days. Now, according to thesun.com, some of that inappropriate material includes a 12-minute video of Hunter Biden smoking crack while involved in a sex act. Can you imagine what would be on CNN and MSNBC every day until the election if this were Donald Trump Jr. rather than Hunter Biden? But it gets worse, friends, far worse. Corrupt pay-for-play deals, bribery, and graft involving Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and Burisma are just the tip of the iceberg for Biden's no-good, very bad October. CIA whistleblower Alan Howell-Perot, in a viral interview with Benghazi whistleblower Nick No and Charles Woods, whose son Tyrone Woods was left to die in Benghazi, says he has the documents and audio recordings that prove the Obama administration, including Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, John Brennan, and the former president himself, Barry Soetoro, allowed the massacre in Benghazi to happen.
Our military are so well trained, their work is compartmentalized, and the only people that understand the full story are the people at the top. And they have made some very bad decisions for this country and for the former Navy SEAL Ty Woods and his brethren who perished unnecessarily at the hands of Hillary Clinton. And in the large picture, this involves Joe Biden and John Brennan.
The Benghazi massacre was allowed to happen to cover up the trail leading back to the source of Stinger missiles that Hillary Clinton was trafficking, one of which was used to shoot down the Chinook helicopter Extortion 17 containing SEAL Team 6. 30 American troops and 8 Afghanis were killed in Tangji Valley in what can only be described now as a setup and a deliberate hit, which according to Perot was ordered by Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden.
So that means that SEAL Team 6 was shot down on purpose after the trophy killed to ensure that no dead man can tell no tales.
You were correct. So that President Obama paid bribery of $152 million. Vice President Biden paid with the blood of SEAL Team 6. He spent their blood like currency.
TopTradeGuru.com provides a nice recap of this complex story of absolute treachery and murder. In a nutshell, Bush, Obama, and Biden willfully gave Osama bin Laden freedom if he promised not to attack U.S. territories. Biden and Clinton worked a deal with Iran to move Osama bin Laden to Pakistan for the SEAL Team 6 raid. SEAL Team 6 killed a decoy placed there by Iran instead of Osama bin Laden. Obama and Biden had SEAL Team 6 killed to conceal the truth. Obama and Biden then sent Iran $152 billion as hush money to cover up the truth.
So these Stinger missiles went through Benghazi and then were given to the people who shot down SEAL Team 6. That was a setup. They were covering their tracks there. And then when they found the serial number on one of the missiles, it is traced back to the CIA from Qatar, from that weapons cache of Stinger missiles. That's why they had to then cover their tracks after people found out that the missiles were from Qatar, and then they could trace back where they came from Hillary through Benghazi. That's why Stevens was back there to recover those missiles and cover up the evidence. Well, that's at least what he was told. I assume that part of the plan for her was to eliminate everyone there at the Benghazi compound as well.
The story first broke with this tweet by Anna Kate at Epoch Times, featuring the interview between Alan Perot, Nick No, and Charles Woods. Benghazi whistleblower Nick No, who I interviewed about the Benghazi massacre back in October of 2019, sent me a Dropbox link which was provided to him by Alan Perot, containing a portion of the documents which I've just begun to dig into. The audio evidence of the treason and murder I have described in this report is set to roll out in stages starting today, Wednesday, October 14th, 2020. The release is set to a specific schedule to help people digest and process this shocking information.
It's just so wicked. It's hard. It's just so unimaginably evil what these people do.
Stay tuned, friends. Much more to come. Thanks so much for tuning in, and for real news, visit us directly at sgtreport.com, the antidote to corporate propaganda. God bless.
Let's just remember that heavy price has been paid for the secrets we are uncovering. And there are millions of people who want to see the truth. And we're going to deliver.